The physics of swimming. Water is 1,000 times more resistant than the air is. About 91% of human energy is lost when swimming because of drag. Drag is basically friction, but drag occurs in water. This is why swimmers wear swim caps and shave their legs and arms. This allows swimmers to maximize their speeds in the water. Swimmers tighten their body to minimize surface area. Every single motion in the water decreases a swimmer's energy and efficiency. That is why when swimmers swim, they take long strides with their arms and kick as many times as they can with their legs, trying to maintain speed, and if possible, trying to maximize speed. As you can tell, the swimmer is keeping his head beneath the surface of water. That way, when he's swimming, there is less drag, really helping him maximize his speed, and to help keep good strides. When swimming, it is very important to use your legs. Legs have such a large surface area, so by not using them, it's really just a waste and holding you back. If you use them to propel yourself, you will go a lot faster in the water, as seen here by the swimmer. Buoyancy is an object's tendency to float. Swimmers are mostly affected by this when they dive into the water because the deeper the swimmer is underwater, the more pressure there is acting upon the swimmer. At the surface area of water, there's less resistance because the air has less resistance than water. Swimmers tend to cuff their hands when swimming. This exerts a great deal of force on the water, and according to Newton's third law, the water should put an equal amount of force back onto the swimmer, really propelling the swimmer forward and maximizing the surface area covered when using their arms to swim. Newton's third law of motion states that for every action force, there is a reaction force of equal magnitude. When swimmers push down on the water with force, the water pushes the swimmers back with an equal amount of force. This happens with every action the swimmer makes when swimming at all. When swimmers are diving, they leap forward, put their heads down, put their hands together and out in front of their heads so their hands hit the water first. When leaping for the dive, gravity pulls the swimmers down and into the water, bringing them beneath the surface. Goggles help the swimmers see where they are going underwater. Without them, it would be very challenging to know when to turn and when to stop before slamming into the wall, or to know when to stop when swimming out in the sea. The water makes light waves bend and our cornea is affected by this. This makes the image blurry, and this is where goggles come in. Not allowing the wire to touch your eyes and having the goggles practically sealed onto your head, this enriches your sight, helping swimmers see where they are going and looking. Most people do not realize it, but breathing alone underwater has to do with physics. Holding your breath is harder underwater because there is so much compression being put onto the human body while being underwater that it is harder to hold your breath. This is why free diving is so complicated. Notice how tight the human stomach looks here when swimming up. This is because he has been holding his breath for so long, and that his stomach is being compressed so hardly now.